Hello guys, and welcome back to a new video. This video I'll be ranking every single Wild West plant from worst to best. Total there are 7 of them, so this will probably be a somewhat long video, and keep in mind this is all my opinion, so don't have to agree with everything I say. So anyway, let's get started with our first plant, that being plant split pea. So split pea is the first plant that is introduced in Wild West, and it originates from PvZ1, and it's somewhat the same from PvZ1, where it costs 125 sun, and it has a cool gimmick, whereas that it can shoot zombies from behind it. It was mainly introduced to counter prospector zombies, and also deal with some heavy threats that manage to get behind the middle of the lawn. And its gimmick is what brings it to the lowest spot on the list. Why? Well, because there are many other plants that can do this as well. Those being some like sticky bomb rice, toadstool, as it can actually eat zombies from behind if you didn't know that, and a bunch more premiums and a couple gemiums. Now I might be thinking that, oh okay, it's just premiums and gemiums that can affect him. Well, that's not entirely the case, as world plants like that you unlock through the adventure mode can also deal with zombies from behind a lot more easier. Those being stuff like Chart Guard, who can push the zombies in front of your defense, meaning that you don't have to necessarily worry about them being behind your defense. Also Bonk Choy and Celery Stalker, which if you use them, you already know what they can do. So yeah, which unfortunately brings Split Pea down here. It's a cool plant with some potential, but fortunately its second gimmick just makes it look like nothing else but a 25 more sun cost pea shooter. So anyway, now let's get on to the next plant, that being Tall Nut. So Tall Nut is another plant returning from PvZ1, who quite literally does the same. It still has the 125 sun cost, has probably somewhere around the same recharge, and it also tanks quite a lot of hits. Now its recharge and sun cost is somewhat what kills this plant, as the sun cost, there are so many better options than a 125 sun cost walnut. Those being stuff like Chart Guard, Infinite, and Primal Walnut, which are definitely better options in the defense department. And there's also its recharge. Now, while Infinite and Chart Guard may have a somewhat fast recharge, you can still benefit from them, as Chart Guard, despite the long recharge, will usually fully recharge by the time all 3 of its leaves are used, and Infinite can infinitely regenerate himself. Plus, you can use probably 2 of them to infinitely stall out a zombie. Meaning that even though there's a long recharge for both of them, like Tall Nut, there's not much that you really have to deal with, as you can still make something out of them. And Primal Walnut has basically almost no recharge at all, so it's pretty quick recharge. So yeah, it's basically somewhat kind of gets PvZ1 form somewhat bad due to the recharge and the sun cost. But so yeah, you're probably better off picking better nuts than him. At least the only good thing that brings him a little bit more higher than Split Pea is that he can actually block flying zombies such as blaster nuts. So yeah, you can relax for a little bit while you let them eat the Tall Nut. So yeah. Anyway, now let's make it to number 5. with it being pea pod. So pea pod is a plant that can stack itself. Basically, it's a 125 sun cost pea shooter that can basically stack up to 5 of them in one, and then you'll get the full pea pod, which can deal massive amounts of damage. Yeah, it's a pretty cool plant. The only thing that probably brings it down is its sun cost. Now, I know I said that's 125 sun, which, with considering PvZ2's 50 sun meta, you can get all of them down somewhat quickly. But you have to remember the fact that to get the powerful beast that is Peapod, you're gonna have to use quite a lot of sun for to get it, like above 600 something. So, yeah, but it's a pretty cool plant either way. It combos very nice with Torchwood, as it can make a very powerful blast through the lawn if you pair it up with Torchwood. And it also, and even the game also introduced its overpoweredness by using it in Day 8 of the Wild West, the conveyor belt, having you stack 3 of them in the minecart. So yeah, it's pretty overpowered, to be honest. Yeah, now we're making it to the halfway point in the tier list. So our next plant is going to be a very mixed plant throughout PvZ2's lifespan, but the plant in question is Lightning Reed. So Lightning Reed is both overpowered and somewhat underpowered. Why? Well, basically, if you only have one of them or don't have a lot of them in your defense, then you're not going to get too much value out of it, because since it only deals like 10 DPS, so it's not too well. But if you have quite a lot of them placed down, then you can get an insane amount of damage dealt. And the game also knows this as well, as in the 18, I think it was, the Last Stand, where basically you only have to use Lightning Reed for to beat it if you want to try to deal with chicken wranglers and stuff, because otherwise then you're probably going to lose the level quite miserably, as chicken wrangler is chicken wrangler. So yeah, there's not much else to say. I was actually somewhat considering putting Peapod in the middle instead of Lightning Reed, but then I changed my choice because, to be honest, I somewhat like Lightning Reed for its overpowerness when you get a bunch of them down. So, yeah. Anyway, now let's make it to the final 3 plants of the tier list. The first out of the final 3 being Melonpolt. So, Melonpolt is also returning from the first game. What a surprise. And it deals a great amount of damage towards the zombies and does some additional splash. It may cost 300 sun, but to be honest, with the sun cost for the plant, that can deal insane damage, and also that can deal splash. Yeah, to be honest, it seems reasonable with me. It's a pretty cool plant, and with PvZ2's 50 sun meta, and also with Sunshroom, and probably Primal Sunflower, and any other good sun producer, you can get quite a lot of these stats. Also a pretty good pick in quite a lot of situations. So yeah, in conclusion, very great plant. Use him. Anyway, now we make it to the second to last place in this tier list, that being Chili Bean. So Chili Bean is a 50 sun cost plant that somewhat acts similar to Shadow Shroom. And you might be wondering what exactly I mean by that. Well, you'll see in a little bit. So basically, if you've played the game, then you know Shadow Shroom's ability is that if a zombie eats him, then it will somewhat immediately kill him if he's pretty tanky. And he's pretty usable with stuff such as bucket heads, brick heads, and a lot of other tanky threats. Well, Chill Bean serves a somewhat similar purpose, where the first zombie that eats him will instantly get killed, and it'll also leave a gas that will spread to every single zombie behind it. It doesn't matter how far back the zombies are, it'll be every single zombie behind that zombie. So it's pretty good, to be honest with you, yeah. And it's also only 50 sun, meaning that you can quite literally abuse this thing for to just basically almost end an entire level, and somewhat use it for the stall. It has a somewhat long reach charge, but I'll admit its long reach charge does help it for players to not infinitely abuse this plant, because otherwise then this video have probably not even existed, because of Chili Bean being too overpowered for me to even be able to do anything. So yeah, in conclusion, Chili Bean is a pretty cool plant that is incredibly busted. So yeah, and now we're making it to the final plant of this tier list. A very powerful plant, and this plant was also even one of the best plants in Flag Zombies community pool, Wintermelon. So Wintermelon is basically melon pult, but extremely overpowered. He's very good. He does a lot of damage and does quite a lot of splash on him. He's a very good plant, and once again with the sun meta, you can get quite a lot of him down. So yeah, in conclusion, yeah, he's definitely a very good plant. So yeah, anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.